Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving into the world of electric vehicles this time. Uh, and things are getting interesting over at Ford with their charging adapters. We've got some fascinating articles to break down on that today.
Yeah, it's funny, EV charging, it sounds simple on the surface, right? Plug in and go, but there's a lot more to it.
Right, like a whole hidden world of cables and compatibility issues.
Exactly. It's kind of a mess, to be honest. We're talking different companies using different systems, and then Ford throws this curveball.
You're talking about their deal with Tesla,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
To use the Supercharger network.
exactly. That was huge news when it happened.
For sure. Everyone thought it was a win for EV owners.
Absolutely. But then, get this, Ford tells everyone to stop using those free adapters they gave out.
Wait, really? What happened?
Apparently, there's a potential issue that could mess with charging speeds and maybe even damage some charging ports.
Oh no, that's the last thing you want with your fancy new EV.
Right. Ford's trying to play it safe and is sending out replacements for free.
Well, at least they're trying to make things right. But why were these adapters even needed? Shouldn't there be like one standard for charging EVs?
You've hit on a major debate in the EV world. You've got CCS, which is the North American standard that Ford and a bunch of others use.
Okay.
And then there's Tesla with their NACS system, which is becoming very popular.
So it's a bit of a format war then.
Yeah.
Like VHS and Betamax back in the day.
Exactly. Nobody wants to be stuck on the losing side. So back in May of 2023, Ford made that deal with Tesla to use those superchargers. It really shook things up. Tesla had that massive charging network, and everyone else was struggling to catch up.
Yeah.
So Ford basically said, look, our customers need this. It was a big deal.
They really did put the customer first on that one. And that's when they started handing out those free adapters, right?
Exactly. So their cars with CCS ports could use the Tesla NACS chargers, like bridging the gap.
Yeah, a bridge with some potholes, it seems.
Yeah, kind of. But this whole adapter thing, it kind of shows you where we're at. We're still early in this EV transition.
There are going to be hiccups, compatibility issues, unexpected problems. It's all part of it.
It's like trying to follow a map that's still being drawn.
Exactly. And the technology keeps evolving. Remember those Tesla V4 superchargers?
Oh, yeah. Those things are powerful.
Seriously, enough power to run a bunch of houses at once. Making sure those adapters can handle it. Well, that's probably why Ford's being extra cautious.
It makes sense. Speaking of adapter problems, didn't Tesla sue some company over their NACS adapter?
Oh yeah, they weren't messing around. Tesla said the adapter wasn't safe and could be really dangerous.
Oh, wow. That's a bit scary. So what does this mean for the future? Are adapters going to be a thing forever?
That's the million-dollar question. After that Ford deal, a bunch of other car companies followed suit, like Nissan, Rivian, GM, even Subaru. They realized that access to those superchargers was a big selling point.
So we could see even more of these adapter recalls. It's definitely possible, especially if those V4 superchargers become as common as they say. But here's the kicker. A lot of these companies, including Ford, they're saying they'll fully switch to Tesla's NACS standard in their future EVs. Not just adapters, the real deal.
So it's kind of like everyone finally agreeing on which wall outlet to use.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if every time you plugged in your phone, it was like a 50-50 chance it would work?
No, thank you. That reminds me, though, should there be a single standard for everyone? For charging, I mean.
Oh, that's the million-dollar question right now. It's a big debate.
I bet.
Some people think the government should just make everyone use the same standard.
Makes sense. No more adapter roulette.
Right. But then there are others who think the market will figure it out on its own, even if it takes a while.
Survival of the fittest for charging standards.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Regulation versus free market, the classic battle.
It's always something, right? So, okay, for the average person who's thinking about getting an EV, what's the takeaway here?
That's a great question. I'd say the biggest thing is to do your homework. Figure out what the charging situation is like where you live.
Right.
Like what kind of charger is most common in your area.
Okay.
Because the last thing you want is to be stuck somewhere with a car that can't charge.
A charging desert. That sounds awful. But at least it sounds like things are moving in the right direction, even if it's a little bumpy right now.
It definitely is. Rome wasn't built in a day. And neither is a perfect EV charging system. But we'll get there. It's just part of the process.
Totally. And hey, look at it this way. Remember when we were all trying to get on the internet with those old dial-up modems?
Oh, man. The sound of progress.
Right. All those beeps and boops. And now look at us. We've got high-speed internet everywhere.
It's true. Things change fast.
They really do. Well, that about wraps up this deep dive into the world of electric vehicles and the
Yeah.
quest for a universal charging standard. Big thanks to everyone for sending in those articles. Now, here's something to think about as you charge up your knowledge and hopefully your electric vehicle soon. Do you think governments should mandate a single charging standard for all EVs? Or should we let the market decide, even if it takes a bit longer? Until next time.